My name is Amy Perea, and I attended a worship service at Bethel Congregation, which is located at 4900 Briar Haven Road in Fort Worth, Texas. Bethel Congregation practices Reform Judaism. I attended the service with my mother and her friend, Amanda Swartz. Amanda is of the Jewish faith and attends a temple in Dallas, Texas. I found it interesting when I was talking with Amanda that she did not become Jewish until she was about 5 years old, even though she was brought up in the Jewish religion. Amanda's father was brought up in an Orthodox Jewish family, but her mother was a Christian. Apparently, the Jewish law requires you to convert if your mother is not of the Jewish faith. So, when Amanda's younger brother was born, the three kids were formally converted to Judaism. A little history of the Bethel congregation. The congregation was formed in the fall of 1902. Originally, a dozen Jewish men decided to hold Reformed Jewish services in Fort Worth, Texas. Within a month, the number grew to 43 men. Bethel was officially chartered by the Texas Secretary of State on October 15, 1902. In the beginning, the congregation borrowed a Torah and shofar from a Dallas, Texas temple to use in their rented facility. They chose Sam Levi as their first president, and the 43 members each pledged 50 cents for their monthly dues. At that time, women were not allowed to be members of the synagogue, and they had no say in the synagogue business affairs. The Fort Worth Star-Telegram ran an article on October 11, 1902, introducing the Bethel congregation as the Reformed Jews, and the congregation appeared to be off to a great start. However, by the middle of January of 1903, Bethel seemed to fall apart. Families were leaving the congregation in part due to the rabbi, who liked to argue with the members. So, the women of the congregation decided to take matters into their own hands. The women contacted headquarters of the Reform movement and pleaded for help. A traveling rabbi was sent to Bethel and helped them get back on their feet. The traveling rabbi also arranged for a new rabbi to be placed at Bethel once he was ordained in 1904. The women of the synagogue paid the salary for the new rabbi, Joseph Jessin. They did not like the idea of worshiping in a rented facility and wanted their own temple. With the support of Rabbi Jessin, the women organized potluck dinners to raise money for their new temple. The potluck dinners were sold during the Fort Worth Fat Stock Show for 3 nights, and they made $320 to start the new temple fund, or what they called the sinking fund.
Bethel Congregation is a URJ-affiliated Reformed Jewish congregation located in the heart of Fort Worth's Jewish community. We are the only Reformed congregation in Fort Worth, but are part of a larger Jewish community throughout Fort Worth and Tarrant County. Bethel became an organized congregation just after the turn of the century in 1902. Since then, we have experienced several great rabbis. Our current rabbi, Rabbi Ralph Mecklenburger, joined Bethel in 1984 and remains our distinguished religious leader. He is well respected throughout our Jewish and non-Jewish religious community. He was once described by a local Methodist minister as the glue that holds the Fort Worth religious community together. In addition to our rabbi, we have a full-time professional Jewish educator, Ilana Knust, who has built an energetic religious school of nearly 200 students from grades pre-K through 10th grade confirmation. She also coordinates educational events and our taught Shabbat services in conjunction with Rabbi Mecklenburger. This year, we are fortunate to have a shaliach to help expose our congregants, young and old, to Israeli culture, customs, and traditions. We are privileged to have a beautiful and functional modern building with many facilities that allow for gatherings of all types and sizes. Completed in 2000, our current building was designed with community in mind, with our large gathering areas and window lighting throughout. Our sanctuary is comfortably large for high holy days, Shabbats, and life cycle events. Our chapel, well lit by a wall of glass, is the perfect size for our smaller gatherings. We are mindful of our history and have a hall of remembrance to help us remember from where we came. Our great hall provides a convenient and beautiful venue to hold receptions, parties, and educational activities. Bustling on Sunday mornings is our religious school wing with classrooms, a technology center, art room, and a youth lounge. Our education isn't just for kids. We have many adult educational opportunities on Sundays and throughout the week led by our rabbi and other Jewish professional staff from Bethel and our community. Many organizations are part of the daily life at Bethel. These organizations include the Women of Reform Judaism, Men of Reform Judaism, Bethel Junior Youth, and our nifty affiliated Fort Worth Federation of Temple Youth. In addition to social programming for our men and women, the MRJ and WRJ provide substantial fundraising throughout the year to assist with our religious school and camp scholarships to URJ camps. Our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders enjoy monthly social events with our junior youth group, BG. Our high school kids are part of FWIFTY and have local as well as regional social, religious, and leadership events. FWIFTY is part of NIFTY's Texas-Oklahoma region. Our regional URJ camp is Green Family Camp, located about 100 miles south of Fort Worth. Each year, Bethel sends approximately 50 campers for GFC's summer programs, an amazing number for a congregation of our size. Bethel in Fort Worth is built upon years of hard work and generosity of our past and current leadership and congregants. We are a financially healthy organization with a history of leadership that cares deeply about the success of our congregation, both spiritually and financially. We believe that we provide an environment second to none for learning, leading, and sharing. Come join us.
Before the lighting of the candles, I was able to talk with a few members of the temple. I told them about my assignment and they seemed pretty excited that I chose their temple to do my video presentation on. They told me that Rabbi Mecklenburger was about to retire and they were getting a new rabbi from Amanda's temple in Dallas, Texas. They offered to answer any questions that I had. More people arrived right before the rabbi began the Kiddush. The cantor was a woman with a wonderful voice. The candles were already lit before the Kiddush began. I found it interesting that they use real wine instead of grape juice, like the church I attend. I didn't understand any of the songs since they were in Hebrew. However, I did enjoy the challah. Amanda explained that the way the challah is braided is very important. What we ate was braided in a long loaf. The service was held in the sanctuary since the speaker system in the chapel wasn't working. The sanctuary was large with beautiful stained glass windows, with many other windows and an eternal flame. The service was about what I was expecting with their different rituals like the songs and readings. I have read about the Torah, but I didn't realize that it is kept behind locked doors. Bethel has 4 Torahs in the main sanctuary and 3 in the chapel. The covers for the Torahs were bright, colorful, and beautiful. I was confused about everyone touching their songbook to the Torah, and Amanda quickly explained that the Torah is not to be touched by hands since it is not only sacred, but is also extremely expensive. It now makes sense that the rabbi used a pointer, or also called a yod, when he was reading from the Torah. The service and readings were very significant since we attended right after the Orlando shooting, and they seemed to be fitting for that occasion. After the service was over, I asked the rabbi if there was a significance the way the windows were facing. He said that the windows faced east towards Jerusalem. He said if we were in China, they would face west. We decided to go through an art gallery that they were hosting for a local Jewish artist by the name of Julie Berman. Her art, like the artwork within the Bethel, had vivid colors.